Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption. Hey, good afternoon everybody. Happy Friday. Militia Man and Crew here. I just want to say, hey, thank you everybody for showing up at patreon.com/MM&CREW and coming in, joining us. It's been wonderful. I'm meeting you guys, plenty of new folks coming in too all the time. Thank you very much for being with us. Hey, when you come in to Militia Man's chat room, when you get into Discord, you just check it out. Is that some of that information put together in our room is it's Dinar Chat, and Gigi puts it together. I think it's exactly Dinar Chart. Forgive me about that, but hey, it's chit chat. That's what it is. And anyway, Gigi puts it together, and she does compilations of the crew members and others when we get into dialogue and conversation. So sometimes it's easy for you to go back and just kind of go through some of that stuff, and then you get a feel of some raw information. So keep that in mind, okay? And then also remember too that we do have Pompey Peter come in at times, and he does his audios on occasion. And you know, sometimes the crew members get together and do some audios that are strictly for Patreon. And we also want you to remember too is that a huge portion of our site is dedicated to the great Samson. She puts in all kinds of time, and she can put in between 30 and 60 articles a day. They don't always relate to everything that's going on, but that's where we can come in and we do our analysis and we support our work. And we also put that into Patreon. And we have discussion there too. And we're actually trying to do a little more live action with Patreon. So come in, check us out, and I hope you enjoy. But in the meantime, today I want to go back just a little bit in time to the KDP links Kirkuk census to implementation of Article 140 to return displaced Kurds. I went back, tried to find a little article, and I know Samson has it somewhere. I just didn't have the time to find it. I can't do every single article. I just don't have enough time to be able to do that and analyze them all, because if you think about it, you guys, how many people can go through 60 articles a day and then analyze every single one of them? There's just not enough time. But anyway, the good part is I have a good strong feeling that where we're headed with this is going to be supported, and I'll look for the article again, because I'm validly so. I got a curiosity. We've been doing this for so long and for so many years, and we're watching history unfold. I really just want to know where we stand as far as, did we have that right? Yeah, we try to do it here at patreon.com is with Militia Man and Crew is to bring the news and support our beliefs. We're not always right, but we give it a heck of a shot. We really do. So I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so this article basically says it's Saturday, and we're going to back up just a little bit in time. September 28th, for instance. Okay, it says Saturday, the implementation of Article 140 of the Iraqi Constitution, according to its legal paragraphs, which will be contributing to solving many of the pending problems before conducting the population census in the province. Well, they're not even going to have their census until the 20th of November. But remember, there's been 40 million national cards put out. Okay, that's big, because what is that? That's biometrics, that's their card. It gives your address, name, phone number, who you are, where you're from. I mean, nitty gritty, right? Picture of you, your eyes. So think about it, 40 million. Their population is, I think, 46, but you got to remember they have a lot of kids. Average population, I think, or average family size is anywhere from 4 to 6 people, or maybe even 4 to 6 kids. But anyway, just so you know, okay? Article 140 Constitution is an article that was included in the Constitution, so it's a constitutional issue, okay? To find solutions for the disputed areas according to stages, which are compensation, normalization, and census, as there are hundreds of deportees to this day that have not received their financial compensation. So it's about money, it's about constitutional rights, and what they're talking about, these matters, have they been fully implemented yet in all of the areas? The answer to that may very well lie here shortly once they expose the 2024 budget. All right. All right, so here it says the issue of the attendance at the Kirkuk Provincial Council sessions is linked to a decision by the federal court. So the federal court's been involved, obviously, for a long period of time, but this is recent time. This is in September 28th, so it's just a few days before this month. It says this team is representing the participants in the Kirkuk administration who say that the formation and contracting of a local government was legal, and there is a team in contrast who say that it's illegal, okay, and the court's decision is what will decide the matter. And so at this stage, we're just going to have to still, as of September, let's see what they have in store for us. I believe it's the final stage for Article 140, and I believe that one of the articles that I just mentioned, what I was looking for, just didn't quite find it at my fingertips, suggests that they may very well have everything organized and ready to go for the real estate, because displaced citizens from the past are part of it. They need to be able to go back home. And I believe that they have an article that shows that they talked about that all that is ready for them to do so. And for them to do so, the compensation and or land given back, all those things will come into play. Not to mention the hydrocarbon law monies will be part of that. I would suggest that they would be anyway. So here's an article that's is out, and it was out yesterday, and it's talking about the 2025 budget schedules for the date of 10/24/2024. It says on that day, HOR, House Representatives, does not know anything about the details of the 2025 budget schedules. There's a reason for that. And they tell you that today. They're going to tell you why. It says Jamal Cougar said in an interview today, which was, like I said yesterday, it says the House of Representatives has not yet decided or not yet reviewed any of the details of that budget. It says it does not know the size of the budget. It doesn't know the percentage of the deficit or anything like that. It talks about there's other financial issues regarded to it. It says we do not expect to be a major fundamental change, however, in 2025 from previous years. And he says basically that the budget schedules will determine when they reach them. Why? Because I believe that they have to have some things done from 23 and 24 prior to making it to the 2025. And I think there's a legal component to that and maybe a corruption component to that. So we're going to find that out. But the budget tables for the 2025, he points out that the most important pillars that will be adopted in the budget for next year. So the budget tables for the year 2025 will be pointing to what? The most important pillars that will be adopted for the next year. He goes on and says that the Article 77, second of the Federal General Budget Law number 13 of 2023, which regulates the preparation of the 3-year budget, the tripartite budget we've been talking about for like a long time, stipulates that the government sends the budget debt tables for the years 24 and 25 to the House of Representatives for approval before the end of the previous fiscal year. So before the end of 2024, they need to have these tables done. And we haven't seen the investment side of the budget. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, the Ministry of Finance has announced that it's in process of preparing the general budget schedules for 2025. So how are you going to schedule 2025 and prepare it if you don't have the tables for 2024? Good question. In accordance with the constitutional mechanisms, again, invoking constitutional mechanisms adopted by the aforementioned 3-year budget law. I love this because they're talking about, everything's about constitution, right? The constitutional rights for the HCL, constitutional rights about the budget, constitutional rights are going to be about what? Having a president for the Kurdistan region. So, but we'll get to that. Goes on to say the financial authority has the necessary administrative and financial capabilities to submit the 25 budget to take their legislative path through discussion and approval in the Council of Ministers and refer them to the House of Representatives before the end of the year. It goes on to say that Saleh, the Prime Minister's advisor, he says the federal general budget tables for the year 2025 will be based on the constants of that federal budget for law number 13 in 2024. So they're going to put the basis of this next year. Again, it says it right there, to the 2024 budget. It goes on and says they're taking into account international and regional economic conditions in their changes in a way that ensures that the provisions of the budget tables for the year 2025 are adapted with the available legal texts, in addition to relying on performance indicators, think about that, of the general budget tables for the year 2024. So it sounds like they're monitoring the market. It sounds like they are, sort of, because they're talking about accounting for the international and regional economic conditions and their changes. So, international and regional economic changes, and they're monitoring it. Interesting. Wouldn't that be like, could that be for stock market? Could that be for the ISX? Could that be other markets? Could that be Forex? I don't know. But that they're talking about markets. So anyway, the provisions of the budget tables for the 2025 are adapted within the available legal text. So the court's been on this, and they're talking about that they have the legal text to do so. And so he says, in addition to relying on performance indicators for the general budget tables for the 2024. So they're going to monitor, or they have monitored, the performance of the general budget and potentially the tables for this year, 2024. He says he stressed that the major construction projects will continue to progress. Okay, so major construction projects, right? They talked about the lack of money recently. They said they needed a push on so they can get the investment side of that budget. Okay? Major construction projects will continue to progress in accordance with the vision of the government program to ensure the continuity of growth rates in the gross domestic product in general and gross domestic product non-oil in particular. Non-oil in particular. You guys realize that non-oil in particular has been didn't just get started yesterday. It's been around for quite a while, and so they have a lot of data. So keep that in mind. Okay, so the government advisor predicts total spending in 2025. This is kind of quick and simple. And here, basically, this paragraph is one of the keys. This is, the government advisor spending 2025. It says the budget for next year, 2025, will not deviate from the constants approved in the federal budget law number 13, last article, of 2023, the 3-year budget, which was, again, submitted by the government and approved by the House of Representatives for those 3 subsequent years, especially in the principles and objectives consistent with the government program. Or the parliamentary, I should say, Finance Committee announced the date of the arrival of the 2025 budget. And they said it will be at the beginning of next year. Okay, but they need something from the 2024 budget and the 2023. Okay, he says in the same context, a member of the Economy, Industry, Trade Committee, Yasser Al-Husseini, confirmed that it's not possible to approve the 2025 budget without obtaining final accounts for the previous budgets, 23 and 24. The current government differs from previous governments because one of its most prominent goals is to improve the current economic reality by fighting corruption in any form and under any circumstances. Okay, Al-Khatimi wasn't that way. Al-Abadi didn't do that. Mahdi didn't do that. You get the picture. Al-Sudani does get that picture. It says Parliament is waiting for the final accounts of 2023, 2024 budgets to be sent, after which the 25 budget will be considered for approval. If a budget is submitted to the House of Representatives without the final accounts, the 2024 investment side of the budget, makes sense to you guys? Okay. Without the final accounts, this is considered an aspect of corruption. Let that sink in. So the House of Representatives refuses to receive a budget without the final accounts tables for the past 2 years. So they haven't received them yet because they need the final accounts for those past 2 years. That's why they haven't done it yet. Okay. The committee is closely following up on how the budget funds are distributed. We need the budget funds distributed because you have the salaries, et cetera, which is part of the operational side, but you haven't seen the investments out of 2024. And that's where everybody should be paying attention. And I mean everybody should be paying attention. If you own Dinar, you should be paying attention. All right. Goes on and says, the committee closely following up on the budget, distributed, to ensure that they are used effectively. So they want to make sure that the distribution of the funds are used effectively to serve who? The citizens, Constitution, think about it. Enhance the national economy, that's everybody. In ways to increase government revenues by developing the tax and customs system. Remember what the ICE system, right? Perfect timing. And all those things will be discussed along the way from time to time. So look, there's no coincidences that are going on of late. There's just none. The talk of the 2024 budget has been mentioned, has yet to be exposed, is out there. They're openly talking about things like that. They haven't exposed the 2024 investment side of the budget. And why? Well, in my view, it's exchange rate oriented. They talk about tables. Well, what are tables? Those are parts of a budget that need calculations. They need the exchange rate to apply so that they have the final accounts. Where'd you spend the money? How much was it? All of those things. Okay. What goes into the budgets? Again, calculations do. So look, they consider that, in my view, is that there's a lot of pressure on for what? To get the citizens what they have, what their rights are. Two things come to mind. Firstly, the hydrocarbon law and the three presidencies. It's their right to have a president, to have everybody legitimate. Right now, they're not legitimate government per se because they have a deputy who can function and do everything that does the House representative's job, but it's not the president. It's not the president. So the legitimacy in the eyes of the world. You're going to go international with your currency. You're going to need to have legitimacy. Okay? Only having two presidents is not a legitimate situation under the Constitution. That's what that means to me. So anyway, having those things said, if they have the ability to get all the people from that real estate, those displaced people, Article 140, ring a bell from the very beginning? Sure, it must. But HCL, hydrocarbon law, that's constitutional, okay? And so all of these things coming together at this time, do you think that's a coincidence? Absolutely not. Anyway, I want you to thank you guys for being with me on this Friday, and I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I hope everybody sees what I see, and I think that you're going to smile. And so everybody have a wonderful Friday evening, and cheers. I think we're in a really good place, and I want to thank you all for being with me, and I thank you for all that hit the like button, I hit the subscribe, and thank you again for all those kind donations at PayPal, Zen, and Venmo. They make this place work. Makes it rock and roll. Come see us. Have a great day. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content. Subscribe to the channel or join us at the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much and have a great day.